And the works that we have here were shown, first of all, at the Baronet Gallery in Auckland in 1969. The show at Baronet Gallery was aimed, certainly on my part, as a bit of a groundbreaker and presenting something which was very different from what had been seen on the scene before. I wanted something which took in the whole of the gallery. So instead of just being a place to exhibit the works, rather in terms of creating a total environment which embraced all the works almost as one piece. And to do this, I used ultraviolet light in quite large quantities. So once you moved into the space, you actually moved into something which surrounded you and truly became an environment. One of the works which I did, I imagined as a tribute to Hone Tuwhare.
So what do you think that's next?
I was looking for a poem that would fit the environments or installation work which I was building at that time. And I came across this one by known hands. Are these the only side covers? I was really looking for that element of thine own hands because the things that I was making, I was hoping that people would be able to move into. And when I read that poem, I thought it was something that if I put it on the words on long streamers, that people could get inside this installation and actually run the poem through their hands. Within this installation, I wanted people to experience a number of different touching experiences. First of all, there was hanging transparent plastic, which they could see through. But also, in looking through that, I had the poem suspended on cartridge paper, printed on cartridge paper. They could look through that and they could pick up words from one part of the poem and read it across to words of other parts of the poem. So the only way that you could really take the poem in was to start at one point and run that through your hands, move to the next one, so that you actually were carried in a circular pattern around the poem. And I wanted them to have a number of sort of feeling, touching experiences as they made that traverse. I also hung nylon thread so that when it touched your skin it almost felt like a cobweb. And I also wanted to bring in the rest of the body, so in hanging nylon thread I put balls, wooden balls at different height. So that actually in moving through that space, some of these things clung to you and then let go, so that you had this sensation which wrapped the whole body at the same time, made it a very complete sensory experience. Well, I think in historical terms, people relate me personally to that post-object era. Of course, at the time, I didn't think anything about creative post-object works. Certainly in New Zealand, the term wasn't current in those 60s and 70s and 80s. I never gave any thought to creating something which fell within that genre. It was just a question of making work. And people made work and we talked about it, criticised it, and explored it further and further works, and it just carried it along on a whole stream of endeavour, I guess, which we weren't too interested in attaching labels to.